Quote, let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Summer is here, and it's time for Acres postseason planter parts sale. Save big on all in-stock John Deere planter parts. Get an automatic 10% off on your purchase, or get 15% off when you spend $5,000 or more. Buy over $10,000 and get a whopping 20% off. Visit your local Acres location today and stock up on planter parts and save thousands. Hurry, this sale ends July 31st or while supplies last. Acres, solutions for every field.
Hey, Nebraska! Registration is officially closed for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games will feature 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. If you didn't sign up but want to follow along for results or watch the action yourself, go to CornhuskerStateGames.com. Thanks to our partners, Nebraska Orthopedic Center, Pepsi Cola, Nebraska Medical Association, and Farmers Mutual of Nebraska.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from a program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into the Don't Punt Hour. Once again, Harrison Arndt on the ones and twos behind the board. Tick weeknights, as always. We got the host, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. If you guys want to join the show, 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Heyman text line. We don't have Royals on the airwaves tonight, so we're live. You can also put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo, Channel 961, all great ways to do so. Let's bring them in. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on this Thursday night?
It's going, almost Friday.
Yeah, almost Friday for me. I'm off on Friday, so I'm in a great mood, as you can probably imagine. But I want to start off with some college football here because we got some more legal work here that we got to go through. U.S. appeal states some NCAA athletes may qualify as employees under federal wage and hour laws. That one is going to be going back to be reviewed again. Just give me your thoughts. Do you like the idea of student athletes being considered employees of their university?
I got a question necessarily before I answer that. Is that the way necessarily of how they can enforce taxes?
Yeah,
more?
I mean, it just beats total federal. It'd be like you'd have a W-2.
I don't really like it, but I mean, I understand, and Uncle Sam is gonna get his. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you knew at some point in time it was coming.
Yep, and that feels like it's where it's heading. What makes me nervous is how many programs is this going to cut? Once you go down this road, if you're going to be serious about it, and this is where it gets tricky because NCAA is hid under the guise of it being amateurism, but when you look at the product today, it feels, especially now with NIL, it's more pro-like than ever. So, they can't really hide behind that anymore. But if you're making everybody employees, certainly that's going to weigh into which programs are you going to employ. I mean, I feel like this is spelling out a lot of programs get cut if a lot of schools choose to do this way. Maybe help raise minimum wage in some of those states, but I don't know. I don't like the idea at all. We're getting so far away from it being college sports. I mean, this is the final step to being pro, it feels like.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Like I said, it's a lot of things you got to go around and you got to do this. And it's just, I felt like you said, like it's getting away from the game. I understand, like, dealing with money and paying college athletes. You have to talk about that part, but it's giving me a headache.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine what the coaching looks like today, especially, I mean, what does that look like now if you're a head coach, but they're also you're their boss. You're no longer this kind of mentor. In a way, you always were, but now
can they get fired? Like,
yes, they can get fired now. Like that, you could just straight up get fired from your job, but you could still attend a university, but you would be paying.
So will you lose your scholarship?
Well, that's the other tricky part of it. If they are employees, the scholarship things I'm pretty sure those are gone. If you're an employee there, you're being paid by the place that's employing you. I mean,
yeah, that's a very sticky, unorganized situation to be in. I don't like it.
Yeah, if you're someone out there who's passed the bar exam, 402-464-5685, I'd love for you to break this one down because there's a lot of avenues to it. Obviously, didn't graduate with a law degree, but
neither did I.
There's a lot of nuance in this, and there's definitely some big factors because you're right, you can fire people. I mean, you would be able to fire them from their role. Say the basketball team, if they're an employee,
but my thing is, like I said, if they get fired, does that technically lose their scholarship? Secondly, if you fire them, are you not obligated to still pay them if it's under a contract? No, I don't like it. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think the way it works is like if, say, it is under contract and they're an employee under contract, you would fire them to open up a roster spot, but be very much like the pro leagues where you still got to pay that guy that you fired. You open up a roster spot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's too much. Too much. Too far away.
What are your guidelines to getting fired? Like, what go
0 for 12?
What it's different. Do they have certain hours that you can only go? So does that knock down?
It's federal.
Does that knock down, meeting times from what it already was from the NCAA? Like, they're going further and further away from that. Like, what does the average, college athlete necessarily look like now? Like, I mean, of course you're already working, over so many hours and whatnot, but it's not your typical, 9-to-5 type job. So how would you classify that in, the work industry?
Great question.
Because even at the NFL level and everything like that, in the summer times and at practice during the season, there are different guidelines. Once you hit certain points within the season, to help with safety, pads are tossed out. I think once you hit like week 8 or 9, you can't really, do no hitting. There's got to be at the end of practice. There's a certain amount of there's a certain amount of time that like you can be out there before you have to literally get off the field. So what does that necessarily look like at the collegiate level? Are y'all just copy and pasting stuff from the NFL and bringing in, the NFLPA to kind of break down their guidelines? Is there a players union? If you're getting paid, who runs the players union? Do the kids, because they're still kids technically, are they allowed to still be, on their parents' insurance or claimed by taxes? Like that, y'all messing up a lot of people. Y'all messing up a lot of households' money now. That's a lot of information that has to be answered and whatnot.
Yeah, as much as I have criticized and poked fun of the NCAA, this is the one time I agree with them. Like, I understand the way the courts are ruling it because it is definitely towing the line of being professional, but you're not wrong. Uncle Sam sees all that money running through, and we're like, we're not getting any of it.
Exactly. That's all it is. I mean, they're passing things and saying certain things, and building up walls to where you can't go around stuff. So it's a little messed up. I feel like individually people shouldn't get taxed. I feel like the university should probably just get taxed for whatever it is and kind of take cover over that, because I mean, you are an institution, you are providing education and everything like that. So maybe the players have to pay something like a jock tax just to kind of cover that. that each university does to kind of be like, all right, like whatever, that's y'all cut up the pie. But that's I feel like they're so far away from just playing. Like, this is stuff that kids are going to be irritated and mad about and frustrated about. Excuse me. Kids, parents are going to be frustrated about it and everything like that. And like I said, I mean, like Uncle Sam is going to get his. So something's got to be figured out. Hopefully it's not, as what they're trying to say, and they can get around it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, it's the money attached to it, because if all of this was going down, say, in the water polo world, like, nobody's really paying attention to it. Probably doesn't reach this audience, but you get this much money involved, yeah, people are going to want to start reaching into those pockets. And who has to pay, the taxes on that? To me, it should be the university. But again, if they're employees, yeah, it's going to be whatever, 23%, whatever state you live in, you're going to get taxed. That's going to be going to your state, to your federal government. I don't like it, because even if you want to say this is more pro than ever, to me, it almost feels like, if we want to go the full work analogy, this is like an internship. Your college experience is your internship. You're not really signing contracts, getting put on salary during the internship. You're still trying to make it and prove it that you can be that guy. And to me, to prove it, that's the pro level. So, like, do you see this thing ever actually coming through when they do end up on a decision? Do you think this will go through where universities can go ahead and employ their athletes? Or do you think this gets shut down and it will never happen? If it does, maybe another 25 years down the road?
If the university does employ the students as employees, does that take the weight off the universities? Like, does that expel anything from them?
What do you mean by that?
Necessarily, would that take the weight off of, like, the university having to owe anything or cough up anything like that? Who does it protect more? Does that ruling protect the university more, or is it more so protecting the kids?
University, 100% protects the university more.
I mean, clearly it's a business. There are winners and losers with business. So, I mean, if the university finds a way to make that happen and everything like that to benefit them, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah. I mean, I would hope not. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, there's winners and losers and everything. So somebody's going to get the short end of the stick.
Yep, and that's why, again, I'm pleading out here. If you pass the bar exam, tell me. In my opinion, it definitely favors the universities. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I don't see a whole lot of ways it's more beneficial for the student athletes. Now you can get fired. Now you're getting taxed. What does that all look like with the NIL? Does that take away from the NIL? All of that. Now you got a mean paper trail that they can tax you on. It just feels like a big loss. And you mentioned it before. Whatever 18-year-old's the head of that players union, good luck if that thing gets passed, because you're going to have a young kid having to lead that game. That's gonna be almost malpractice. Like, they're not gonna know. They're not gonna understand that. Like, you can't. Like, I almost feel like you kind of have to put ex-athletes, from the university or a trustee committee to kind of oversee that, along bringing in, current athletes to kind of coach them, because every year every year or every 2 years, somebody's new going to be coming in because the kids are leaving out. So I feel like that even with building up that's going to be a process, because they're not going to know. They're not going to think necessarily after somebody who's been through collegiate or been through the pros that understands, the little things that they might not think or might not see at that point in time. And that might be a place or point that, somebody else can take advantage of them in that situation. Yeah, I think that'd probably be the best way to do it. If you're going to try to create some sort of union out of this, it'd have to be like an alumni union, where it's like guys that went to the universities, then graduated.
But it's like there has to be like a criteria, of alumni can get it, not just because you donate like a lot of money. Like, you have to be an ex-athlete. Period.
Yeah, ex-athlete, alumni, probably guys that have gone to the pros, like you said, for that added experience to really know which flags
to understand the whole longevity of things. Like, if you do this, like, you understand, like, this is what is going to impact 2-3 years down the line. Like, if you do this, like, this is what, the outcome, or we're saying to offer you this to make X, Y, and Z better. They're not going to see that because they don't necessarily know of that. The NFL has, NFLPA reps that have been, at those meetings fighting for, the players behind closed doors and everything like that. They're the voice of, what the athletes want. So as I said, I feel like that if it does go to that, like they can't take advantage of kids that necessarily don't understand the position that they're being in.
Absolutely. And then, I just think that's probably where I put a pin in it now. We're kind of in this point where we're going to have to wait and see what that looks like. But yeah, right now it's a lot of speculation, a lot of paperwork. Obviously, once you're under that federal law and you're just going to have to start paying taxes, you're going to have to start, they're going to be under hourly regulations where you can't just overwork a guy. What does that look like with workouts? Does that count as their hourly wage? Like, there's so many more questions that arise out of it if you decide to go down this route, which is why I just don't think you need to. Like, just stay the hell away from it. But that court's job is not to be opinionated. Their job is just to follow the laws. So, I mean, it's a tough one because I get where the courts are going with it, and I don't think they're wrong, but it'd just be so much more beneficial if the NCAA could continue to at least try to iron out this NIL era before we just dive into their employees now. Like, it's so much of a wild, wild west right now, and this coming off the top rope just makes your head spin. I mean, it is so far away.
It's opening Pandora's box. Like you pull one string and it's like, you can't unpull, that line that you did. So it's there's going to be a lot of hard conversations about a lot of things with pertaining which direction to go with stuff.
Yep. And again, with the NCAA, I think they're actually in the right in this one. But at the same token, they would never be in such a position that's so stressful right now if they would have taken this NIL thing a long time ago and tried to put the pieces together and have some sort of plan, because we kind of knew that right away. Toothpaste is out of the tube. You're not going to get it back in. It's just going to keep going and going and going until we get to some sort of conclusion. But the conclusion feels further away every month. Like, was not expecting this at all at some point where we'd be considering these student athletes full-on employees, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if it ends up that way. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see. We got a little bit of time left, 5 minutes left on the schedule. DeMarty Pierson-El, did you happen to catch Bleacher Report's top 30 all-time college football players?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, this is perfect because we're going to start at the bottom, and I think we'll get 5 minutes just off the first two. So this is the cutoff. The cutoff is 30. 30. He's a Nebraska Cornhusker. Ndamukong Suh. 29. And I'll wait for your comments because I know it's coming. Played for Texas. Played against Ndamukong Suh. Was in a Heisman race with Ndamukong Suh. Who is that quarterback?
Did he wear the number 12?
Colt McCoy. Yep.
Goodness. So Colt McCoy is above Suh?
Yeah, I don't even think he's a top. Yeah, he's 30. He's not a top 30 college football player of all time, in my opinion. Not even. He maybe in the 40s.
Suh was at 30?
Suh's at 30. Colt McCoy's above Suh at 29. That's why I said we're going to get to the first two and we'll probably get 5 minutes out of it right there. Egregious.
Who's making this? This has got to be clickbait.
I got a good guess. I think they were a big time Big 12 fanatic. They love the Big 12. They grew up in the Big 12 when that was like the echelons of Nebraska, because you look at this list, it's a lot of Texas. They did get quite a bit of Nebraska in there, but you're just going to see a lot of Big 12, occasional Big 10. It's bizarre.
How far, like, what is the range? If this is like
1 to
all
30.
time?
Yeah, all time, 1 to 30. 30 greatest college football players all time, and Colt McCoy is above Suh at 29.
That is wild. Okay. That's. I need to know, what is the criteria. Please tell me they broke down the criteria within the article.
It's Bleacher Report. You know, they just give you a graphic.
That's just clickbait. Colt McCoy was nice, but he definitely shouldn't be above Suh by any chance. Suh should have won the Heisman and got cheated out of it. But I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so who are the next two? That's crazy.
Okay, and some of these, not NFL, the college football historians can definitely help out with this one, because there's some of these names where I got to look at the stat sheet. Obviously, didn't see him play. But up next, John Elway, Stanford, not bad. Then you got Ernie Davis, Syracuse, Mike Rozier. Yep, the next Husker at 26. Charles Woodson, Michigan, 25. You got Ron Dane, Wisconsin, 24. 23, Randy Moss, Marshall. I thought he could be a little higher, but I'm okay with that one. 22, this one I think he could be higher. Dave Remington, just simply because there's no question, right? I mean,
I feel like if a college award is named after you, that's disrespectful of the dominance of what he did in his career. For him to be below 20, above 20, that's crazy. Like literally, the trophy is named after him.
Yep. And this is where it gets tough, because this is like with any all-time list. I agree. I think he should be higher, but we did this when we got to the NBA greatest all 75 players. You get to the end there and you're like, man, there's a lot of players left that do belong, but when you're going through the greatest of all time, it's crazy how hard it is to start slotting him in there. I think he's definitely in top 20, but looking at the rest of this list, I don't get too upset. There's some in here. Howard Cassidy I'd have to look into out of Ohio State all the way up at number 7, but Glenn Davis, 21. Orlando Page, Ohio State, 20. Bo Jackson, 19. Higher or lower or perfect?
He can be lower, but I mean he was a freak of nature.
Yeah, he's
But I mean, you got people that are multinational championship winners that are dominant, that are that are past him. Like, so, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Well, like, what is the criteria? But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I think, and again, trying to understand this criteria, the way I look at it, I think, because I'll tell you right now, there's not a single Alabama player on this list, which is kind of crazy. You think of how dominant Alabama was. So part of this makes me think if you were in the era of one and dones, you're at a disadvantage. And I think that's how Alabama got skewed. I don't know if this is a cumulative stats, but even some of these guys played multiple seasons, and I think they got off the list. One good one that Cluster Johnson brought up, Derrick Henry. He's not on this list. That's a great Alabama poll you could have had on there to get someone from Alabama in here. I'll tell you right now, above Colt McCoy for me.
I honestly, before Derrick Henry, honestly, I would probably go Amari Cooper. Like I'm not.
Yeah, that's.
Like Derrick was fine. He came in hurt. I'm not saying he had one good season. But I can see why he's necessarily left off that list. Amari Cooper from the time, or Julio from the time that they got, at Alabama like that, they changed necessarily, the game at some point in time. Even if you look at their careers in the NFL, that you can arguably say at one point in time they were the number one receiver in the league for a year or two. Not to say that Derrick wasn't, a number one, but there's a lot more things that come with, the running back aspect to things.
And that's a fair argument. And that's what you're going to see through this list is I'm 25 and there's going to be some people that are 50 looking at me like, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? Like when you go through the eras of college football, especially like this list, you're going to see a lot of running backs. Makes sense. You look at the era of the time. So all of that being said, kind of what you're talking about with the running backs, there's a little more to it.
Is Cam Newton on the list?
Nope. He's not there.
Is Tim Tebow on the list?
Yeah, how high? This will be fun. How high is Tim Tebow?
Probably top 10. He's America's sweetheart.
He is a top 10.
That's
how high?
Sick. That's sick. That's sick. Is Michael Vick on the list?
I actually don't think he is. I do not think they have Michael Vick on this list. No, he is not.
Is Johnny Manziel on this list?
Nope.
Okay, I was about to say, how can you have Manziel on the list but not have Vick?
Yeah, no.
Percy Harvin, is he on the list?
Nope, no Percy Harvin either. And I'll tell you right now, Tim Tebow's at 9. So he's just at the end of the top 10 there.
Is Patrick Peterson on this list?
Negative.
Honey Badger.
No Honey Badger. That one surprises me.
Okay. There are definitely more offensive players on this list than defense.
I'll help you because we're getting to the end of the segment here. So I'm just going to give you the names because I'm not going to have you try to guess out of every single college football that was great in college football history. It's going to be tough to come up with this list. Number 1, Herschel Walker. You like number 1? Georgia.
It's debatable, but I mean, I'm not. He was a freak of nature. He was different. He was running faster than a train. So him and Bo are like this.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, Archie Griffin, Ohio State.
Fair.
Number 3, higher or lower? Should he be there or is this perfect? Tommy Frazier, Nebraska.
Ooh.
Led the greatest team of all time, in my opinion. You look at those scores, it's like.
But how do you have Tommy that high, but you don't have Remington? Like that for the first quarterback to be at 3. Like, I'm okay with it. The other 2 in front of him, it's very debatable, but I'm cool with it.
Okay. To me, as long as he made that top 5, that's what I was really scouting
for sure.
If he's not in the top 5, I'm probably upset, but I'm okay. 3's fine. Number 4, Hugh Green, and number 5, give me the running back, Oklahoma State.
Barry.
Yep, Barry Sanders. I think that's a good one there.
Okay.
Barry up at 5. I'm okay with that. And since we're running out of time here, I will ask you this. Lawrence Phillips, does he deserve to be on this list?
I think so. But
Okay.
I mean, people are going to be politically correct and kind of leave him off of stuff. But I mean, if a spade is a spade and that's what we call it, I mean, he's right up there.
Yeah, I think I'm not deeply offended by it, but I think he's probably one of those fringe guys. I'm not even going to say it's political. I can see how you can make a case why he isn't in there, but certainly if you extended this out to 40, I bet you probably find his name. 50, you better find his name, I'd imagine. But we'll throw it to break here. I want to get to this one comment, 1727, unknown texter. As I was pleading for people who passed the bar exam to talk about this with the NCAA. If you think having players as employees is crazy, since the university is a public institution, wait till somebody sues a taxpayer saying they want part of the pie. That's a good point. If the university is making all this money and it's a business, then the taxpayers are going to eventually want their share. That's a whole new wrinkle.
Pandora's box, baby.
Yep, great text. From the unknown texter. We'll throw it to break. Dump Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El. We'll talk to you on the other side.
Round 2 of boxing at the complexes this weekend. Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best amateur boxers on Saturday, July 13th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. A grudge rematch between Lincoln's Carter Mickelhaus and Kearney's Jack Mundolf, plus another Capital City showdown to follow. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Prodigy Baseball Academy, Lincoln's premier baseball program is excited to partner with the #1 national youth and high school program to offer a larger player development program with a national network for tournaments and recruiting. Prodigy Baseball has been nominated several years by the Lincoln Choice Awards for outstanding dedication to youth baseball. Come see the USA Prime Prodigy difference. For a full listing of tryouts and to learn more about USA Prime Prodigy, check them out on Facebook at Lincoln Prodigy Baseball or at LincolnProdigyBaseball.com. USA Prime Prodigy is excited to announce the tryouts for the upcoming season. Prodigy Baseball is where players in Lincoln go to receive player development, a competitive tournament schedule, and incredible family atmosphere. USA Prime Prodigy will be hosting tryouts July 14th through the 16th at 6 p.m. at Optimus Sports Complex for ages 7 to 14. Jalen Wordley, Caleb Clark, and Mason McConaughey from Husker Baseball will be there to sign autographs and talk to the youth. Tryouts start on July 14th at 6 p.m. Learn more at LincolnProdigybaseball.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Do you have a new address or phone number? Update your info with Powerline, LES's outage reporting system. Visit les.com/powerline or call 402-475-4211 to sign up.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top-tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old School with DP and J.
You have to get ready for this long haul of a season that you put, hopefully, your blood, sweat, and tears into training to be in your best form. And whatever team does it at a higher percentage, that means if you have 100 players and you do it at a 90%, 90% of the guys do it on a 90% basis, generally it correlates to what your wins and losses.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome in. Second segment, Don't Punt Hour with the host, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. If you guys want to join in, as you have done so far, 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, always open to you guys. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo, channel 961 if you want to put a face to the voice. We're talking about the college football top 30 all-time list, and we're going to quick wrap that one up, and then I got another list for you. Another list from Andy Staples. We're going to talk some college football blue bloods. Thursday's the day of list. The next one might make you even more upset, so just keep that in mind. But where did we leave off? We left off right at Tim Tebow at number 9, and we're just going to get through 10 through 15, and we'll get to this Andy Staples Blue Bloods list. And you just tell me if you got any problems with these top 15. Tim Tebow, 9. Vince Young at 10. Texas, Tommy Norris, Texas at 11. Deion Sanders at 12, Florida State. I feel like he might be top 10. I think you can bump him up. Over Tim Tebow's tough. Like, where do you put Tim Tebow? Because 3 Heismans.
What? Tim Tebow, but he only won 1 Heisman, correct?
Yeah, excuse me. Not 3 Heismans. Was in the running for 3. Only got 1.
I
think you might put Deion in the top 10 over Tebow. I think that's where I'm at. Like, he's top 10.
I think that, to me, that's an easy one.
Both sides of the ball.
Him, you haven't said Desmond Howard, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's not on this list.
You got Randy on there, but you don't have Desmond Howard. You got Charles Woodson, but okay. All right, yeah, you're trying to piss me off.
Well, Bleacher Report might be. I'm just doing my job here at 1040 O Street.
Go ahead. So you said Deion Sanders. Go ahead.
Deion's 12. He's a top 10 for me, a no-brainer. Earl Campbell, 13. Texas. This is what I mean by whoever made this list loved the Big 12, and it's
probably a Texas alum.
Yeah, it's Texas. A lot of Texas. Number 14. This one's tough. I just didn't really see it. Roger Staubach, 14. The history, that's a tough one for me. I can't, at 25, accurately place him.
Yeah.
All right, 15, last one. Tennessee. Can you name that quarterback?
Peyton.
Yep, Peyton Manning at 15. I'm okay with Peyton at 15. You could probably jump him up higher, but if you're looking at the greatness
Well, I mean, I guess you could say, because Peyton never won a national championship at Tennessee, huh?
Mm-mm.
And he never won a Heisman, huh?
Mm-mm.
So I still think his numbers is better than Tebow. Like,
I'm with you on Tebow, because you look at the roster around Tebow as well. That was a group of dogs. That team was loaded top to bottom.
I mean, and Peyton lost to us. So I mean, yeah, that's they have nobody off that LSU 09 team, which is
there's not a single one. That's what surprised me. Modern day quarterbacks.
There has been, some dominant defensive guys. Sue is too low, honestly. Like him being at 30, like that's a slap in the face. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, thank God he made the list. I would have lost my mind if he didn't. I've never seen a defense player. Again, this is my lifetime. There's other guys that you can go back and watch the tape. Another guy that's not on this list, Ray Lewis. That surprised me. Not a lot of defense on this list, to be honest.
There has been some game changers, game wreckers on the defensive side of the ball that I'm like, you out of respect of the game, like you have to. Sue is one of those persons that you kind of have to throw in that category. For me, Patrick Peterson is up there, regardless of what you may think or whatnot. What he did for the game and everything like that. It's crazy to not to like people weren't throwing at him, and he was taking punts back. He was taking kicks back. He's definitely a dominant collegiate player. That's crazy that he's not on there. That's what I said. Like what is the criteria of it? Because it's like even back then, I don't think like that the Big 12 was like the premier conference even back then. Like I'm not the Big 12 was good, but early in the 2000s, Miami ran everything. So the ACC or Big East or whatever.
Good point. Nope. Real quick, no Miami player on this list either. Not a single Miami player.
Time out. Reggie Bush is not on this list?
He's not on here. Not a single Miami player has made the list. And I'm glad you pointed that out with Miami, because you look at a lot of these Nebraska players, these Texas players, that's that era. And they just left Miami out of the book.
You left Reggie off this list? You got Tebow on this, but not Reggie?
That is correct.
Some of those people that were on that Pete Carroll team. I mean, you could put Matt Leinart. You can argue him. He was crazy. If I'm not mistaken, Clay Matthews went crazy at USC when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
USC has some people now, and you telling me not one in the top 30? Reggie not making this list in the top. Reggie not making the list at top 10 is crazy, but him not being on the list completely is I can't. This person who made this list is not credible. I'm sorry. I don't care.
I'm okay with that.
I'm saying it. That's terrible.
That's why I started with 30 and 29 to give you a mindset of where this list was going. Because 30 and 29.
I don't know why it didn't take me this long. And once I said Miami, I'm like, hold on, I don't remember hearing Reggie's name at all. Which is people argue today like he. In the recent time, like, his highlight tape might be one of the best of all time. I definitely think, it's debatable with putting him top 5, 6. I mean, if not at least top 8.
I was thinking I'm a little more lenient, but even past 15, I'm starting to get pretty upset.
You have
Tebow's.
You have Tebow, and you don't have Reggie Bush.
I'm with you.
That's backwards. Like, don't get me wrong. Tebow was a hell of a collegiate athlete, but Tebow wasn't touching Reggie Bush, and it wasn't close.
No. And again, every time Tim Tebow, yes, deserves all the accolades in the world. He was a great quarterback, but that team was also really, really good around him, and he had a lot of pieces and weapons, and they're just not represented on here. So just Tim Tebow out of Florida, not a single Miami team player in there. I'm
USC, like that. That's come on now. Like, be a little bit more realistic.
I think it's a good spot to end up. Be a little bit more realistic with this list, because
I'm genuinely pissed off right now. Like that.
That's the one that gets people. Not a single Miami player.
That is disrespectful. Like. I'm pissed. I might need a little minute to calm down. That's not Reggie.
Nope, not a top 30. Not a top 30. And there's other running backs. These other running backs belong on there, but Reggie not being in there at all is egregious. So I'm going to give you
would you not say that Reggie is a top 5 collegiate running back of all time? Is that not fair?
Top 5. Fair. No question.
All right. That's what are we doing here? Like, who gave this person power to make this list? And that's what I'm asking. Like, what is the criteria? Because of course, some people are going to get left off, but there's no reason why Reggie, and they gave him his Heisman back. So anything that was against him is now gone.
Yeah,
why
he's got the Heisman now.
On this list?
That's right. He's got his Heisman now. It's not like he doesn't have a trophy to show you. He's got it. It's in there.
USC, reinstated him. The NCAA reinstated him. Reggie is good. Like, what? I'm tired of the disrespect.
I'm hoping the list was made before Reggie got the Heisman back or something, because even then I'm putting him on there. But we do got to go to break here because we got another list. You're going to need some time to cool off here, because one of these blue blood contenders, egregious. And this is from our guy, Andy Staples. You might argue the youth shows. I'm 25, but even I think I can see that a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. Good morning, Pierson-El. Harrison Ards on the 1s and 2s. We'll talk to you on the other side.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Pierre's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Pierre's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from a program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top-tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 16th is spend $30, get 2 New York strips for free. Also, 10% off all beef jerky. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Summer is here, and it's time for Acres postseason planter parts sale. Save big on all in-stock John Deere planter parts. Get an automatic 10% off on your purchase, or get 15% off when you spend $5,000 or more. Buy over $10,000 and get a whopping 20% off. Visit your local Acres location today and stock up on planter parts and save thousands. Hurry, this sale ends July 31st or while supplies last. Acres, solutions for every field.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Round 2 of boxing at the Complex is this weekend. Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best amateur boxers on Saturday, July 13th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. A grudge rematch between Lincoln's Carter Mickelhouse and Kearney's Jack Mundolf, plus another Capital City showdown to follow. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. We got one more list to get through, and I'm sure
I'm still pissed.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Andy Staples from the top rope. I think he's going to finish the job here. 402-464-5685. Wrap things up. We don't got a ton of time here, so we'll go through it pretty quickly. College football blue bloods. You guys can tell me who are the true college football blue bloods. DeMornay Pierson-El, I'll just ask you first. Before I give you the list, when I think of the blue bloods, I think of Michigan State, or not Michigan State, definitely not Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska. I'll throw Oklahoma in there. I think USC belongs in there. Who else they got on this? Definitely Alabama. I'll give it to Alabama. And Notre Dame, I think I cut it off there. And then Texas, I don't know if I mentioned Texas, but I think
you didn't mention Texas. I was kind of like,
Texas is in there as well.
Okay.
Those are that's what I think of when I think of blue bloods. Anybody on that list you disagree with?
No.
Okay. Here's Andy Staples' blue bloods. And you tell me who's missing. Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Michigan, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, USC, Penn State.
This had to be more recent of years. Is this the same guy that put out that last article?
Well, this is on 3. This is Andy Staples. The recency bias reeks in this one. The contenders might make you want to puke even more.
Somebody need to sit him down and talk to him a little bit.
Wait until you hear one of these contenders, and I'm sure your eyes will light up. Okay, so on the outside looking in, Florida State, LSU, Clemson, Miami, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, Nebraska, and the one that reeks, Oregon. Oregon is not even close to being a blue blood. They have 0 national titles. Their history isn't that glorious to where you can even think about them.
Yeah, I think he's thinking of more so recent success than overall, probably in the past 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, buddy. You need to go back to the drawing board for real. That's no.
Well, not having Nebraska.
Nebraska wasn't in the first group.
Just forget one of the greatest college football programs of all time. The consecutive sellouts, the titles on top of it. We still have one of the best winning margins.
Did he say Notre Dame in the first?
Notre Dame's in there. He's got Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think what it is is more so of recent success, not necessarily just the history, which is. I mean, if you're looking at it in that way, then say that you're looking at it in the past 10 to 15 years.
But when I think of blue blood, I don't think, were you good though in recent years? It's a blue blood. It's built on the history. So like this list, I think
it's clickbait.
Yeah, I think
everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think he's completely wrong. I think he needs to look up the definition of it. Maybe somebody needs to draw him a few pictures to, illustrate exactly what they mean by things. But yeah, I thought, if you're a sports writer and you understand certain things and whatnot, that's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. And you should, have a clear understanding of what things are. You have USC, you have Notre Dame and Alabama and all of these other things, and to leave Nebraska out of that, it's crazy.
Yeah, and as great as Georgia's been, they're not a blue blood. I mean, they've been recent years, absolutely, but like that to me does not fit the definition of a blue blood. Now, if they keep it up, yeah, but again,
they're on the fringe, like between them, Florida State,
Yep.
Penn State, like there's the honorable mentions.
I'm okay with those. No problem.
They're honorable. They're right then and there. Like if you hit a certain amount of ones and you squeak those in there, I might let it slide and be like, I see what you're doing, but I'll let you have it. But for you to flip completely and not even have Nebraska in the first one, and you give Oregon a go over, like, no.
Yeah, that's kind of where I lost the credibility of this list. It's like Oregon is not just no matter I can't think of a single angle where you look at this and you really think of them as a contender for blue blood. But I think you might be right. Andy Staples, hats off. I think you got me hook, line, and sinker. I think that's what that list was. Like, it doesn't add up to me at all. But you knew people in Nebraska would certainly see Nebraska off the list, and I'm here talking about it on a Thursday night. So hats off. I think you got me. If that's his real list, definitely needs to sit down and rethink it. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Don't go anywhere. Chance of Brewington up next. Shout out to Morning Pierson-El on time as always. We'll do it again next week.